This is the main control panel. This is the heart of the RV that controls a lot of the functions and gives you all of the information that you need to enjoy your stay. So up in the top left, we have our system monitor, which is going to tell us how much gray water, black water, fresh battery, and propane we have left in the system. So to check, just simply push the button and the lights will illuminate to tell you that whether it's empty, full, or what the level is. With the black tank, these are notorious for being clogged up. So even if you've completely dumped the black tank, they do have a tendency to still show some level of fluid in there. So no worries about that. But everything else should be true to the reading as you see it here, depending on how level you are at the time that you check it. One thing to be sure of during your stay is to check the battery, especially if you are camping off the grid. Want to make sure we maintain a battery level of at least 2/3 throughout your stay. If you notice that the battery is getting low, just simply turn the generator on or hook up to shore power to get those batteries recharged. And then this is for your liquid propane. Over here we have our generator control. So this is going to be the hour meter and then the start stop button. To start the generator, just simply press the start button. And it could take a time or two to get it to crank up and get going. One thing to note about the generator is that it takes about 10 to 15 seconds before the power from the generator comes into the RV to start to power up the microwave, the refrigerator, and all the other outlets. So give it some time. If you start it up, don't expect your plugins to work immediately. And then to turn the generator off, just simply press the stop button. One thing to note about the generator is that it does run off the same fuel as the engine, so no need to worry about putting in extra gas or where that might go. It just draws it from the main fuel tank, and the generator will automatically turn off if the main fuel tank drops below a 1/4 gallon, and that's to ensure that you have enough fuel to start the engine and get to where you're going or get to a gas station. Next up, we have the water heater. So the water heater can be controlled both by electric and gas. So obviously the gas will control the water heater via the propane system. And for the electric, you either need to have the generator running or you have to be hooked up to shore power. This will not run simply off of 12-volt batteries. You have to have shore power or the generator running. Next up is the water pump. This for any of the water accessories, assuming you are not hooked up to city water. If you're hooked up to city water, you don't have to worry about this. But if you're using the water that's in the tank, in the freshwater tank, this needs to be on. Okay. And if you're hooked up to city water, just make sure you have this turned off, or else it'll attempt to draw water from the tank instead. Next is the winterizing system. So unless you are camping in extremely cold weather, don't worry about this. Basically what this does is it supplies power to a heating pad for all of the tanks in the RV. Here are the lights for the living room and the kitchen. Here's the slide control, and this controls a light on the rear driver's side. So if you need a light to help you with dumping the tanks or performing maintenance or something on that side of the vehicle, you can just simply turn that on, and that illuminates a light on the rear driver's side. That's about it for the panel. If you by chance hear a beeping noise, there's a couple sources of that beeping. A couple things can happen if there could be a couple sources of beeping. One is it could be the carbon monoxide monitor just here. The beep for this, it's 4 short beeps, and that's an indicator that you've got high levels of carbon monoxide. You need to shut off the generator, open windows, get out the fresh air immediately. The other possibility is that it could be a low battery. So the two sounds are very similar, unfortunately. So if you hear that beep, a couple things to check would just be to make sure that your battery has sufficient voltage. And if that's not the case, and you find out that it's coming from here, then obviously get out and get some fresh air. But that should not be an issue.